It's finally happening. The Gilded Age Season 4 is coming. And this time, it's not about who wins, it's about who survives. The glittering world of New York's elite is about to shatter, and at the center of it all stands Bertha Russell, a woman who once had everything: wealth, power, respect, and now risks losing it all. HBO's renewal has already set the stage for the most dramatic season yet, where ambition, betrayal, and revenge will collide behind velvet curtains and crystal chandeliers. But the first look at Season 4 reveals something none of us expected. The empire Bertha built with iron determination may soon turn against her. And it all begins with one brutal truth. George Russell is done waiting for her to choose him over her hunger for status. As the camera returns to the grand world of the 1880s, Season 4 will open on a chilling tone. New York's high society is changing faster than anyone can handle. The very people Bertha once impressed are now whispering behind her back. Her rivals smell blood in the water, and for the first time, Bertha isn't untouchable. After that emotional Season 3 finale, George's distant stare said it all. His love has run out, and his patience died along with it. He's no longer the loyal, understanding husband who silently endured her games of social chess. Instead, he's a man with something to prove, and someone new may soon catch his eye. Rumors suggest that the upcoming season will introduce a mysterious widow with old money ties and dangerous charm, a woman capable of undoing Bertha's carefully constructed world with a single dinner invitation. And if that happens, the Gilded Age won't just be a war of ambition anymore. It will become a war of the heart. Meanwhile, whispers around HBO's first look confirm that Bertha will do everything in her power to reclaim George's love. But for a woman like her, vulnerability doesn't come easily. She will try to balance her iron will with the softness George has longed for. But the society that once applauded her rise will not forgive weakness so easily. Every ball she hosts, every alliance she forms, will come with consequences. And the cruel irony is that while she tries to save her marriage, others are plotting her downfall in secret. From the shadows, Mrs. Winterton, yes, the same cunning social climber who turned from maid to menace, is quietly preparing to strike again. After being humiliated in Season 3, she has no intention of staying silent. If rumors are true, she might even find herself dangerously close to George Russell, emotionally, socially, or worse, romantically. And let's be honest, if that happens, the drama will hit an entirely new level of chaos. At the same time, the younger generation will take center stage in a way that changes everything. Marion and Larry's rekindled love will finally move forward toward marriage, but their union won't come without sacrifices. The first look teases a storm brewing behind their smiles, not from each other, but from the families surrounding them. For Bertha, the upcoming wedding could be her last chance to prove she still holds the power to unite her family under one dazzling roof. But as always, every victory in this world comes with a hidden cost. And this time, the price might be her heart. Behind the glamour, HBO promises Season 4 will explore the darker side of ambition more deeply than ever. The battle between old money and new will evolve into something personal. Bertha, who once symbolized the unstoppable rise of America's new elite, will now face the very nightmare she once inflicted on others: being excluded, dismissed, and outplayed. George's growing independence, Peggy's fierce pursuit of happiness with Dr. Kirkland, and the manipulative games of Oscar and Mrs. Winterton will all twist together into one explosive finale where every secret will have a consequence. And if that isn't enough, the words that close Season 3, "The future belongs to America," may finally reveal their true meaning. Because in Season 4, that future will no longer belong to the dreamers, but to the survivors. And only those willing to sacrifice everything, love, loyalty, or legacy, will make it outstanding. Season 4 begins with New York at a breaking point, a city glittering on the surface but cracking underneath the weight of its own ambition. The railroads are expanding, fortunes are shifting hands overnight, and whispers of political corruption echo through every ballroom. But in this chaos, George Russell's silence speaks the loudest. Once the pillar of Bertha's rise, he now walks the fine line between power and resentment. Every choice he makes will sting like betrayal. Every moment he spends away from her will fuel the rumors that their golden marriage is over. The first look hints at a stunning early scene: George attending a private gathering without Bertha, an event filled with influential figures, including the mysterious woman who may become his emotional escape. Her name hasn't been revealed yet, But word is she comes from an old money family once ruined by George's ruthless business expansion. If that's true, her relationship with him could be the perfect weapon. Revenge disguised as romance. Meanwhile, Bertha finds herself surrounded by the very vultures she once defeated. The same elite she worked so hard to impress now sees her vulnerability as an opportunity. Invitations to the most exclusive events start slipping away. Gossip columns whisper about the Russell separation, and even her closest allies begin to drift towards safer, newer alliances. For a woman who built her empire on control, losing that social grip is a slow form of death. Yet, Bertha isn't the type to crumble quietly. Season 4's first look teases a chilling transformation. She becomes colder, sharper, and far more dangerous than ever before. Every move she makes will be calculated. Every smile will hide a blade. She's determined to win George back, not through tears or apologies, but by reclaiming her throne in New York's hierarchy and reminding everyone, especially George, that Bertha Russell is not someone you replace. But as Bertha fights to restore her image, another storm brews within her home. Larry and Marion's relationship, which once promised peace, becomes the next battleground. Larry's loyalty to his mother clashes with his love for Marion, who continues to challenge Bertha's obsession with appearances. Rumors suggest their engagement will spark conflict between old and new values, the very theme at the heart of the Gilded Age. Marion, ever gentle yet strong-willed, represents the changing face of society, women who refuse to be accessories in their own lives. And for Bertha, that kind of independence will be both inspiring and threatening. Their dynamic will evolve from tension to mutual respect, but not without a few painful lessons along the way. At the same time, Dr. Kirkland and Peggy's storyline will bring a fragile tenderness into this season's chaos. Their public engagement at the end of Season 3 was a symbol of defiance, love standing tall against prejudice. But that victory came with a price. Kirkland's powerful mother, whose disapproval still lingers like a storm cloud, will launch a campaign to divide them. HBO's early hints suggest she'll attempt to undermine Peggy's confidence, manipulating the press and society gossip to humiliate her. For Peggy, this means the battle she thought she'd already won has only just begun. She will find strength in unexpected places, especially from allies she never imagined, possibly even Bertha herself. After all, Bertha knows what it feels like to be judged for breaking into spaces where others said you don't belong. And perhaps, amid her own downfall, she'll rediscover her humanity through Peggy's struggle. But the most shocking part of the first look isn't who rises, it's who falls. Oscar Van Ryn, ever the schemer, takes a turn that could destroy more than his reputation. His alliance with Mrs. Winterton deepens, binding him to a woman who thrives on chaos. While he believes he's securing power, she's only setting the stage to use him. Their partnership will send ripples through both families, forcing Agnes to intervene once again. HBO insiders have hinted that Agnes, always a symbol of composure, will show a fiercer side this season. Her war with Mrs. Winterton may turn personal, and in true Gilded Age fashion, the battlefield won't be the streets. It'll be the drawing rooms and dinner parties of Manhattan's most powerful. Through it all, one question will haunt every episode. How far can love survive in a world built on power? George and Bertha, once the unstoppable duo, may soon find themselves on opposite sides of history. Marion and Larry may learn that happiness requires defying everything their parents built. And Peggy may finally prove that even in a society obsessed with appearances, truth and dignity still matter. Each storyline weaves together into a season that promises heartbreak, redemption, and the kind of emotional reckoning that only the Gilded Age can deliver. As the season unfolds, New York's glittering facade will start to crumble. The chandeliers will still shine, the gowns will still dazzle, but beneath the beauty, every character will be fighting for survival. And for the first time, it won't be about who has the most money or status. It will be about who still has a soul when everything else is stripped away. Season 4 will push every character to their breaking point, but none more than Bertha Russell herself. The first look teases her most fragile yet dangerous version to date. The woman who once ruled New York's glittering ballrooms with unshakable confidence will now find herself cornered, betrayed, and underestimated. But if there's one thing we've learned about Bertha, it's that she is never truly defeated. She adapts. This season will mark her evolution from a social climber to a survivor. Her fall from grace will ignite something fierce inside her, something that refuses to stay buried. The whispers about her failed marriage, her dwindling influence, and George's rumored affair will only sharpen her edge. Bertha will remind New York's elite that she's not just another wealthy wife seeking approval, she's the woman who built an empire from nothing. And this time, her revenge won't come in the form of fancy parties or grand gestures. It will come quietly, methodically, through alliances that no one sees coming. According to early leaks and insider descriptions, one of Bertha's most shocking moves will involve befriending someone from her rival's circle, possibly even someone close to George's mysterious new companion. It's a strategy as cold as it is brilliant. For Bertha, this isn't just about saving her marriage. It's about reclaiming control. She's about to weaponize kindness, charm, and vulnerability like never before. Imagine a woman who smiles at her enemies while calculating their downfall in the same breath. That's the Bertha we'll see in Season 4. The emotional intensity of her arc will leave audiences torn between pity and awe. On one hand, she's losing everything that once defined her. On the other, she's rediscovering the raw power that made her unstoppable in the first place. Meanwhile, George's storyline will be a mirror image of Bertha's. Equally complex, equally tragic. His guilt over what their marriage has become will clash with his longing for peace. For years, he's lived as the man behind the empire, the one who made Bertha's dreams possible. But now, he's beginning to wonder what his own dreams are. The Season 4 preview hints that George will venture into unfamiliar emotional territory, more reflective, even vulnerable, something we haven't seen from him before. His growing bond with the mysterious widow could easily start as companionship and turn into temptation. And the most unsettling part? She may not truly care for him at all. Instead, her motive could be revenge, using George as a way to hurt Bertha for past wrongs in business or society. If that theory proves true, George's heart might become the deadliest weapon in New York's ongoing war for dominance. But amid all this darkness, there will still be glimpses of warmth, the quiet moments that remind us why the Gilded Age is so captivating. Marion and Larry's engagement will serve as a light in the chaos, symbolizing a possible future beyond manipulation and rivalry. However, their journey will be anything but easy. The preview suggests that their love will face both internal and external pressures, from family expectations to society's cruel judgment. Marion, whose kindness often masks an unshakable strength, will emerge as one of the season's most pivotal figures. She'll be torn between supporting Bertha and protecting Larry from the toxic dynamics of his parents. The wedding preparations, lavish and beautiful on the surface, will hide deep emotional cracks underneath. What should be a union of love may turn into a stage where long-buried truths come out, not just between the young couple, but between George and Bertha as well. On the other side of town, Peggy Scott will continue to challenge the limits of her world. Her upcoming marriage to Dr. Kirkland should be her happily ever after, but the obstacles ahead will test her in ways she never imagined. Kirkland's mother, still determined to control her son's choices, will become a shadow over their joy. Yet, unlike before, Peggy won't back down. She's grown, hardened by the cruelty of those who once dismissed her. The first look suggests she'll take an even stronger role in this season, not just as a journalist or a lover, but as a woman shaping her own destiny. And surprisingly, she might find unexpected support from Agnes Van Ryn, who has slowly evolved from judgmental matriarch to silent protector. For all her pride, Agnes knows resilience when she sees it, and Peggy embodies that resilience in a way few others can. But what's truly fascinating is how all these storylines will converge by mid-season. HBO insiders describe Season 4 as the most interconnected yet. Every character's secret will affect someone else's downfall or redemption. What happens between George and Bertha will ripple through Larry and Marion. What happens between Peggy and Kirkland will echo into Agnes's world. Even Oscar and Mrs. Winterton's schemes will indirectly fuel Bertha's eventual rise or ruin. It's a web of consequences, a dance of cause and effect, where every smile hides a motive and every apology could be a trap. By the end of the first half, the Russell mansion will no longer be a symbol of triumph. It will feel like a prison. The gold and crystal won't hide the growing emptiness between its walls. Every room will hold a memory, every glance a wound. The opulence will start to feel suffocating, as if the very foundation of their empire is rotting from within. And when the mid-season twist arrives, a betrayal so unexpected it will divide fans, we'll finally see the true cost of Bertha's ambition. Because in this world, you can have everything, until the moment you lose the one thing that mattered most. The cracks in the Russell empire widen as the Gilded Age Season 4 moves into its second half, and this is where everything begins to spiral. The calm elegance of New York's upper class gives way to something colder. A quiet panic masked by pearls, champagne, and polite smiles. Everyone feels the shift, but no one dares to say it aloud. George and Bertha's separation becomes the talk of every parlor, every drawing room, every gossip column. People pretend to sympathize, but deep down, they're waiting for her downfall. Bertha, once feared and envied, now walks into rooms that fall silent. Every invitation that once begged for her presence now arrives days late, or not at all. And when she finally realizes that power is not something you earn once, it's something you have to defend every single day. It might already be too late, but Bertha is not the kind of woman to fade quietly into memory. The first look hints at her staging one of her boldest social comebacks yet, a ball unlike anything New York has ever seen. It's rumored to be both a declaration of strength and a desperate act of defiance. She will spare no expense, reclaiming her grandeur one chandelier at a time, determined to remind society that the Russell name still stands. But beneath the glittering surface of that evening lies a deeper purpose. She wants George back. She wants to remind him of the empire they built together, the one forged through love, ambition, and shared dreams. Yet, as fate would have it, that same night may mark the moment she loses him for good. Because whispers say the mysterious widow, George's rumored new companion, will attend the event as an invited guest. Imagine the heartbreak, the fury, the humiliation. The ballroom that once symbolized Bertha's power could become the stage of her greatest betrayal. Meanwhile, George's own story will continue down a dangerous path. His investigation into the man who once tried to assassinate him takes a shocking turn. The first look reveals that George will uncover new evidence suggesting the attack wasn't random at all, that someone from his inner circle may have played a role. The tension thickens as he begins to question not just his business associates, but his family's safety. His obsession with finding the truth could drive him further from Bertha, blurring the line between justice and vengeance. And in classic Gilded Age fashion, every clue he uncovers will come with a cost. Friendships shattered, loyalties tested, and alliances burned to ashes. The same ambition that made him powerful may soon become the reason he loses everything that once mattered to him. Parallel to this chaos, Peggy Scott's storyline will take on a new sense of urgency. Her marriage plans with Dr. Kirkland will be threatened not only by his mother's cruelty, but by a deeper societal danger. Whispers of scandal that could destroy both their reputations. Someone, perhaps connected to Mrs. Winterton's growing influence, will try to smear Peggy's name publicly, using lies and manipulation to push her out of New York's social circles. But this time, Peggy won't run. She will stand firm, supported by allies who finally see her worth, including Agnes and even Bertha. For the first time, these women, divided by class and circumstance, might stand together against the very system that tried to define them. It's a powerful, poetic twist, the kind of moment that gives the series its emotional heartbeat. Oscar, on the other hand, will descend deeper into the trap he built for himself. His alliance with Mrs. Winterton will start to feel like poison. She'll slowly manipulate him, feeding his ego while using his influence for her own gain. By the time he realizes what she's done, it may be too late. Mrs. Winterton, with her unmatched ability to twist truth into advantage, will emerge as one of the season's central villains. Her hunger for status will know no bounds, and her next target might very well be the one man who's always stayed above her games, George Russell. If the rumors about her pursuing George turn out to be true, Bertha's rage will explode in a way we've never seen before. Not just as a wife, but as a woman who refuses to let her rival rewrite the story of her life.